Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the visiting lecture today with Chandigarh Group Colleges Jhanjeri, Mohali, Punjab, India. Welcome to the Honorable Miss Jashanpreet Kaur. As for the topic today is retail business management, and for today's session is being live streamed on the University STEKOM YouTube channel. I will read our agenda this afternoon. First, we will start class presentation delivered by Miss Jashan. Continue with the Q&A session. In the next session, we will have for documentation and last time is closing. Let's begin. We will start class presentation for Ms. Jashan. The time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So, firstly, I'm very grateful to be here to present my topic, and it would be a great experience for me with all of you. So, I think this session is going to be very fruitful for everyone, and definitely at the end of the session, I'll like to have the questions from your side. So, can I just start with my presentation?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm just sharing my screen. Please do let me know, is it visible to you? Is
Yes,
it
visible.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jashanpreet Kaur, and I have done BCom, AmCom, BEd, and I'm UGC NET qualified. I am currently working as an assistant professor at Chandigarh School of Business, CGC Mohali, and my area of interest is accounting and business organization and management. And today I'm going to present my topic, that is retail business management. So, just before starting, I would like to highlight the content that I'm going to deliver today. So, we are going to focus on firstly the introduction because it's quite obvious when we are starting with some new topic, we must know that what it is actually. Then we'll focus towards the characteristics, then what are the different types of retailers, how they are organizing their business, then the retail planning process. We will be studying the whole planning process of retail business and how we are going to manage the things at every step of our planning. Then we'll focus on the key components of retail operations. What are the different components? What all steps should be taken to manage all those steps? And then we will be heading towards the topics like retail pricing, retail promotion, and so on. So, starting with firstly the introduction. So, retail business management is a process by which the customers procure any kind of goods or services from the retail stores and they procure them for fulfilling their basic needs, for fulfilling their buying needs. So, it is the steps from bringing the customer into the store, then fulfilling their needs, and then ensuring that the customer is leaving that store with a smile on the face. And after that, of course, the follow up is also required. So, this whole process is a retail business, and managing this business, managing the retail business, that is retail business management. So, moving forward, before diving into the things that what is management, how the retail business is going to be managed, it's required that we should know that what is actually retailing, because managing the retail, that is the second thing. But first we should know that what actually the retailing is. So retailing is the most common form of doing business. Even if we step out of our room, we could see that the retail stores are open at every place. So this is the most common form of doing any kind of a business. So it consists of selling the merchandise, selling the goods from a permanent location. That permanent location would be definitely a store, directly to the consumers. And that thing that is being sold, it should be in small quantities, because if it is in a bulk, that would not be considered as a retailing. Definitely it would be wholesaling. So retailing is a kind of a process in which a goods or services is sold to a person, to it is a selling of merchandise to a person, the person definitely a consumer, and in a small quantities from one permanent location, that is a retail store. So this is retailing, and you can find the retail stores everywhere, be it the residential areas, be it any streets, the community centers, even you can find the retail stores in the malls as well. So this is all about retailing. Now moving forward, that there is a definition given by a very good philosopher, that is Philip Kotler. He said that retailing includes all the activities which involve in selling goods or services to final consumers for their personal and for non-business use. So selling all those things, selling the products to the consumer for their personal use is referred as retailing. If we talk here about the business use or commercial use, then that would not be termed as a retailing. Retailing is selling the goods to the final consumers, to the final person who is using it for their own use, for their personal use. That is what retailing is. Now I'll move forward to the characteristics of retailing. So characteristics, the first one is that there is a direct interaction with the customers. There isn't any middleman involved, there isn't any other person. There's a direct interaction between the retailer and the final end customer, the end consumer. So this is the first thing. Secondly, the main focus of retailing is always the customer service. As we have seen in the previous slide, that the customer should leave the store with a smile on the face. So customer service becomes very crucial in this matter. Then we have sales promotion. This sales promotion is done at that very point where the person is buying the product. Like in case of manufacturer or wholesaler, they can't do the sale promotion when they are selling their thing. Like the wholesaler will be selling the thing to the retailer. But there they can't do the sale promotion. The sale promotion is only possible at the point of retailing. When a retailer is selling a product to the customer, at that time they can promote their sales. They can ask the customer to come back, and this will help in increasing their sales. So this is the another characteristic. Then we have that any form of other business, retail outlets are more. We can see the retail stores, we can see the retail shops outside our home. So that is, it shows that other than the other forms of business, retail outlets are more. This is the most common form of doing business. Then the two things that are very important in the retail business is the location and the layout. Location means the place where this retail store is situated, where your shop is situated. So that is important. And secondly, the layout, the design of the shop, the design of the retail store, where the things are being kept for the final selling. What is the layout of that store? So that is also very important. And then finally, the retailing offers employ opportunity to all people of all ages, be it male or female, you can be a retailer. Be you are a young or you are of a very old age, still you can be a retailer. So employment opportunity is provided to all with the help of this concept, that is the retailing concept. Now I would like to move forward. We have the types of retailer. So the thing that I'm talking about retailers, so we can bifurcate into two types. There are two types of retailer. The first one is store retailing and the second one is non-store retailing. It's quite obvious. The one who is involved in a store retailing, he or she will be a store retailer. And on the other hand, the person who will be involved in non-store retailing, he or she will be a non-store retailer. So in store retailing, we have few points, few types of stores, like your departmental stores, convenience stores, specialty stores, variety stores, conventional supermarket, combination store. All these are store types of store retailing. Store retailers are involved in these type of stores. So now we will be discussing all these one by one. Firstly, we have department store. As the name depicts, department stores are the one that are organized by department wise. Like one department would be for men's wear, another department would be for female wear, another department would be for kids section, another department would be for toys. So when the store is organized department wise, that would be department store. Now moving to the second one, convenience store. As the name depicts, convenience means the one that is very convenient. Like the person is there, he is a consumer, he needs something, he just went out of his home, he took a material, whatever the good he want to buy, he pick up that and come back in a very short time. So that store would be referred as a convenience store, means which is easily accessible to the customers. They can go for a fast shopping in such kind of stores. So that is convenience stores. Now moving to the next one, specialty store. As the name depicts, these special stores, this store that are only meant for some special products. Like there are some stores which are specialized only for jewelry. There might be another store that is specialized only for shoes, toys, books, and so on. So they are referred as a specialty store. Now I'll move further. That is a variety store. As we have done the first one, specialty store, there only one type of products will be there. The store would be only specialized for one type of product. But in a variety of store, you may have a number of items. There would be a variety of things. There would be stationery, there would be gift items, there would be women's accessories. So different types of different variety of goods will be there. That is variety store. Then we move forward to the conventional supermarkets. Conventional supermarkets are specifically for the food items. They're a kind of a self-service food store where you go, you procure some food material, and then you come back. So the basic example for these kind of markets are the groceries ones. So if you want to carry some groceries, you want some eatable materials, you can move to the conventional supermarket. And then we have combination store. Combination store, which means it is a combination of both the things, be it the food items, be it the non-food items. Like in the previous one, conventional supermarket, there only you can get food items. But if a person requires food as well as a non-food item, then the person can go to combination store. So the combination of two things, food as well as a non-food items. So that is a combination store. Then moving to the next one that we have non-store retailing. So initially we did store retailing where there is some store available. It might be combination or it might be variety or it might be specialty store. There is some store. But when some store is not there, still it is involved in a retail business, then that is non-store retailing. So three main basic non-store retailing forms are direct marketing, vending machines, and catalog marketing. So we'll study these one by one. Firstly, with the direct marketing. Now, direct marketing is a method where the manufacturer or the producer sells directly to the user or ultimate consumer without involving any kind of a middleman. Means there is a direct marketing, direct selling is there from the manufacturer or the producer, and that manufacturer who is making that product will sell it directly to the consumers, to the customers. There won't be any middleman involved there. So that is direct marketing. There isn't any store, just from the manufacturing unit, wherever that product is being manufactured, from there the product will be fetched out and it will be sold directly to the consumer. So this is direct marketing. Then second, we have a vending machines. It is a machine which will act as a retail store. There isn't any specific store or specific shop, but there is a machine who will act as a retail store. Any product that you want to purchase, just ask that machine to do for you. The machine itself will do the whole process for you. The machine will carry the entire transaction. They'll also take the money from you. Then they'll calculate all the things. They will find out, they'll analyze. Then the machine will provide that product to you. So this is vending machine type of retailing, where there is a machine will do the whole of the transaction, will carry out the whole transaction. You just have to let that machine know that what you want. This is popular for the products like soft drinks, books, papers. So if you need some book, you can just go to that vending machine. The machine will take up the money from you and then will provide you that product. So this is the vending machine. Then nextly we have catalog marketing. Now what is catalog marketing? It's also known as mail order marketing or catalog marketing, or it is a kind of a mail order business where there is a catalog. There isn't, again, it is a non-store retailing method. So there isn't any kind of a retail store. The marketing or the things or the business will carry on with the help of catalogs. Now what catalogs is, it is a kind of a overview of the products that are being sold by some business. The catalog will be dispatched to the person through the mail, through the email, or through the post. The person is going to check out that what all products are being sold by that business, and they'll just revert it back by letting them know that yes, this is the product I want to buy. So that is catalog marketing. Just a catalog is there where all the things are mentioned, a kind of a pamphlet that is given where all the things are mentioned that our business is making these products or dealing with these products. The consumer is just going to read that catalog, choose the product, and revert them back. So this is the another form. So far we have discussed the introduction, the meaning of retailing, then the characteristics of retailing, then the types of retailers. Two types again, there is a store retailing and non-store retailing. Now we'll come to the main thing, that is the management. Till so far we have done just the introduction of our retailing. Now we'll specifically talk about the management of these retail business. So starting with the management, of course, anything cannot be done without planning. So if either we are managing some business or we are managing anything, there is a requirement of a good plan, a good strategy, a good planning process. So for retail business management also, we need to plan the things. We need to make a good strategy. So now we'll talk about the process. That what is the process? What is the planning process for strategic retail business management? There are many steps in it. Starting with the step one. The step one is to define the business mission. Firstly, a person should know that if I am into the business, I am into this retail business, then what would be um, uh, mission of my business. For this, the person has to make one mission statement. This mission statement will tell that what are my objectives, why I have set up this business, what I want to achieve, what are my goals. So all these things will be included in mission statement. So the very first step is to decide upon the mission, that what business are we into, what products we are going to sell, what should be our business after, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, who are going to be my customers. Is there should be some specific population or it should be the whole population? Then what are my strengths, what are my capabilities, what I want to achieve as a retailer? So this is the very first step. Then moving forward, strategic second step is conduct a situation audit. Situation audit means that the person has to analyze and see that what is the situation in the country, what are the different factors that are there in the country which I need to analyze. So analyzing all the opportunities, analyzing all the threats that are there in the environment, and the different strength and weakness of my business, I'm going to analyze all these things. In this analysis, I'm going to look after many factors, like the first one, that what is the market size, the some market in which I want to establish my business, I want to set up my retail store, what is the size of that market? Secondly, what are the business cycles? What are the economic conditions in the country? Whether it is a boom, whether it is a recession, whether it is a depression, what kind of economic conditions are there in the country? And how will those conditions affect my business? I should be well aware about that. Then compare competitive factors. Who are going to be my competitors? How the strategies of my competitors is going to affect my business. So I'll look after that as well. Then the barriers to entry. That is there any barrier if I want to enter into some specific business or not? Whether I can, like, for example, there are some products where you cannot enter directly. There you need to follow some process, you need to follow some documentation, you need to have some license. So there some barriers are there. So you should be very well aware that whatever the business I am entering into, that is there any barrier or it is not there? Will I be get free entry over there? So one must see that as well. Then the rivalries, that who all my competitors are there, will they cause any harm to my business or not? Then what all customers I am targeting for? for my product? Who all the customers will be there? Will that be only male population, or will that only be female? Will there be only kids, or will there be only the old people, or the whole of the customers, the whole population? So that thing also I should take into consideration when I'm setting my retail business. Next is the threat of substitution. Now, what here substitution means? Substitution means that if, let's say, I'm making one product and I'm selling it in the market, is there any risk that any other person can make the same product? This will act as a substitution for my product. I'm already making a product, I'm already selling it, but there might be any other competitor who has made the same product. And if I'm not satisfying my customers, I'm not providing them a good customer service, it's quite obvious they're going to shift from my business to the another business, because the other person has a product which can substitute my product. The customers will definitely shift to the another person. So this thread, I should be very, I should analyze it. I should look into this thing into consideration, that yes, that there must be not any threat of any kind of substitution. Then the environmental factors. What all factors are affecting my business out of my business? The internal management is definitely going to impact the growth of my business, but along with that, environmental factors as well. So I should take into consideration that as well. Then what are the changes, new developments that are happening with respect to my business? Like, what are the technological changes? Might be I would be the person who is using that outdated old technology, and now the new technology has emerged and I'm not aware about it. So it's quite obvious it's going to impact my business. My business will definitely fail because I'm not aware about the new changes that are happening. So this is the another thing. Then the regulations that are being made, the policies with respect to my product specifically, I should be well aware about it, and I should analyze all those things. Then the likelihood changes, that might be I have made some product, I'm some selling some product as a retailer, and the people no more like my product. They have very frequent likelihood changes. So this will affect my business negatively. After 5 years or after 10 years, my business will shut down because people are no more liking my product. So I should be aware about this thing as well, that whenever I'm setting some business, when I'm acting as a retailer and I have a retail business, I should be well aware that whether my product will survive for much time, or will people change their livelihood and they'll switch to some other product. So this is the second step, that I have to conduct a situation audit. I should be aware, I should analyze the different things that are happening around my business and how all those things are going to impact my business. What are the opportunities that are coming on my way? What are the threats that are coming on my way? What is the strength of my business? What is the weakness of my business? So this is very important. Then come to next, third step. Now I'll find out all the opportunities. I'll try to identify all those opportunities that are coming on my way and which will help me to increase my retail sales, which will help me to increase my business. So I'll find out all those opportunities. Then, after finding all those opportunities, I'll evaluate them one by one. I'll find out that which opportunity is more better for me, which opportunity is going to give me for more profits, which out of all those opportunities, which is going to sustain for a long time. So I'll evaluate all those opportunities. Then coming to the next step, I have checked all the opportunities. Then I'll stick to one specific objective. Might be there will be main objective and sub objectives. So I'll stick to my specific objectives and I'll tilt all my resources towards achieving those objectives. Like there might be three things under this. Firstly, I'll make one index. Then I'll check that whether I'll be able to achieve all those things that I've mentioned in my index. It will act as a performance check, that it will help me to evaluate my performance. So time to time, I'll measure my performance with that fixed performance evaluator. So I'll check it time to time. Then I'll set one time frame, that within this time frame, I have to achieve my objective, I have to achieve my goal. Like for example, I may set my time frame that within 5 months or within 6 months, I have to increase my sales from 70% to 80% as a retailer. So that time frame is very important. You should have a time limit that yes, within this time limit, I'm going to achieve my goal. This is very important. Then coming to the next one, that is level of investment. I must ensure that what level of investment should I invest in my this business. That whether I want to operate on a large scale. If I want to operate on a large scale, I might need more investment. And on the other hand, if I want to invest in a small scale operations, I want to invest in a small business, then it's quite obvious the level of investment will be less. So this is the next thing. I must ensure that what is the level of investment, and it's quite obvious all the resources will be allocated accordingly. For more investment, quite obvious you need more financial resources, and for less investment, you need less financial resources. Then there is a step 6. Now I'll develop a retail mix for my strategy. I have made the strategy, I want to implement it, but I want to develop a retail mix for that. Now, what this retail mix means, it is the combination of all the factors of retail business. The factors could be price, it could be promotion, it could be place. So I'll make up all these retail mix in an aggregate form. I'll find out that yes, what would be the price of my product. I'll find out that what is the way to promote my product. I'll also find out that where would be the place where I'll set up my business. So all these factors is a retail mix, and there is a time to develop it now, to use it for implementing the things for further carrying on the business. Then the last we have step 7, where we are going to evaluate the performance, and if there is a requirement to make some changes, we'll definitely do it. So in this step, we'll evaluate the results. We have set up our business, we are running it, we are just on the board, and now we want to evaluate it. We want to check that whether the performance is up to mark or not. So for this, two aspects are there. The first one is that if the retailer is conducting the business and it is meeting the objectives that we already we had set up in the initial steps. So if we are meeting that objectives, and even if we are exceeding that objectives, that's quite good. So we are going to not do much things, we'll just run our operation smoothly. But if we are not being able to meet that objectives, and we are not being able even to touch those objectives, then there is a high time to make some changes. So what we are going to do, we are going to make some changes. We are going to again plan the things, start again planning process, and everything done will be done from the very starting. So this is the whole planning process for the retail business, starting from the very first thing where you are setting some mission, and till the last where you are evaluating your performance. And if the performance is going good, that's very fine. But if it's not well, then there is a requirement to make the changes, to make the adjustment. I hope it's clear up to here, everyone. Now, nextly, I'll move forward to the components of retail operations. As my topic is retail business management, so it's about managing the whole business, managing the retail business. So there are many things under retail business which needs to be managed. So I'll not explain everything in a combined form. Rather, we'll go step by step. We'll touch every component of retail business, and then we'll discuss that how the things can be managed. For example, we'll firstly pick up the store. Then we'll discuss that how store can be managed, what all things a retailer should keep in mind. Then we'll move to the merchandise. We'll discuss how this merchandise can be managed. Then we'll switch to the employees, how these employees can be managed. Then the customers, and then the inventory. So managing the store, managing merchandise, managing employee, customer, inventory, when all of these 5 components are managed, it's quite obvious this will lead to the management of the whole retail business. So I'll go step by step. Firstly, we'll understand how to manage store. Then we'll understand how to manage merchandise, then employee, customer, inventory, and finally, when all these things are managed, this will result in retail business management. So we'll firstly start with the store management. Store means the place where you can get that thing. Get that thing means the one that the retailer is selling. You are a consumer. It's quite obvious if you want to purchase something for fulfilling your buying needs, you will go to a retail store. So how to manage that store? Here is the study about it. So firstly, the most important thing is to find out or to analyze the actual space where the retail business is conducted. The actual space would be the store. So the internal, the layout of a store, the procedures of a store, the different things of a store, there is a high need to manage all those things. So under store management, three things are included. One is the layout and design of a store. Then we have store procedures, that how the things are conducted in a store, and then how to maintain that store, how to keep everything in an order and to ensure that everything is running smoothly. So these three things are studied under store management. So now we'll discuss all these one by one. Firstly, starting with the store layout and design. So store is a place of customer interaction. It is the first place, it is the only place where the customer is coming and interacting with the retailer. So it's quite obvious we need that our store should be very well managed, our store should be very good, our store should interact the customers, should attract the customers. So it is very important. So the basic functional principle of the retail store is to display the products and sell the product. Selling is quite obvious, we are aware about it, that if the product is not being sold there, how it could be a retail business store, right? But even displaying the products as well is very important. If you just let's have an instance that you enter some store where everything is kept very untidily, the things are on the floor, the things are not organized in a good way, this is not going to attract you, right? You will shift to some other place. So displaying the products in a very good way, in an organized way, is very important. Next, the store should have enough space that everything gets accommodated there. You might have seen that there are some stores where there is not much space to stand or to explore the things. So that stores are not going to attract you more. So there must be a good space where everything can be accommodated. All the products should be properly displayed, organized. If it is a service provider, then the good services, proper place for services availment should be there. People should feel good, that the ambience should be good, the atmosphere created in that particular store should be good one. So it's very important. So while talking about the store layout, there should be four things in a retail store. The first one is that there should be a sales floor. Now sales floor is what? The space where the sales are kept, means where the product is kept for selling. That is the sales floor. Then second, we have customer service area. In the retail store, one place is for product, the another should be for customers, like your dressing rooms, your restrooms, then coffee and juice bars, then the place where exchange, return and exchange is done, the place where payment is done, right? So that is the customer service area. Then the third one that we have, that is a merchandise warehousing and handling zone. In a retail store, there should be a separate space where the extra products are to be kept. For example, there is a shoe store. So in a shoe store, one product will be there that is of, let's say, 8 size, right? And white color. So that is displayed in front. But if any person requires 9, 10 or any other number, or if the person requires any other color, so all those extra products will be kept in a warehouse. And as soon the customer comes, so according to the preference of a customer, the product can be brought up from the warehouse and then it can be sold. Because it's quite obvious, all the products cannot be displayed in front, cannot be displayed on a one shelf. So for this, we have a warehouse and handling zone where the extra products or where the products that are not in use anymore can be stored for them. Then we have a staff personnel area. This area is basically for the employees of that retail business store, or it might be for the staff that are present there for their own use. Like it may include offices where the main head, whosoever is the main owner of that business may have office, then the lunch rooms where the employee and staff can have their lunch, then kind of a conference rooms for conducting some meetings related to the business, and then the training areas, like where all the employees are trained that how they have to sell the product and other matters. So these are the four components, four areas that need to be designed while we are setting up some store. So for this store, these four things should definitely be there. Now I'll move forward towards the store procedures. Store layout has been discussed. There should be proper store. Now, how the things are going to take place in this store? What are the procedures? So, store procedures is very important. As important is the layout of that store. So, how the things are going to be performed, how this from one step to the last step when the customer is entering the store till the customer is leaving that store, how the things will work on in a business. So, that is very important. So for this, two things are important. One, firstly, we should determine that what are the hours of operation, that for how much hours my business is going to run. As per the business, as per the type of business, the hours of operation will be different one. For example, there is a grocery store and there is a fashion store. So it's quite obvious the grocery store is going to be opened very early in the morning itself. But on the other hand, there is no such requirement to open the fashion store very early. Because grocery store, we all are aware that it includes all the food items, the vegetables, fruits, etc. So due to their perishable nature, they must be opened very early and the things should be distributed accordingly. But there isn't such kind of requirement for the fashion store. So as per the type of business, there is a requirement that one should know that for what hours my business is going to run. And second thing is the managing the security of the store. So security is also very important. The products that you have kept in your store, they must be secured for any XYZ reasons. For example, because for if there are chances of a theft. So for protecting your products, there is a requirement of a security, the store security. So it also depends upon the type of store. For example, if there is a small retail store, you may not require much security over there. But if there are large retail outlets, there are a big retail businesses that are being run by you, then definitely you need good security. So for security, you can either have a good security system or you can even appoint some security guard for your retail business too. So these are the two things that are very important and they should be analyzed properly and well managed in your second concept, that is store procedure. Now coming to the third one, that is premises maintenance. It's quite obvious everything, if it is very clean, it is well organized, then it's going to be definitely attractive to the consumers. But on the other hand, if the premises is not good one, it is very untidy, the things are here and there, then that are not going to attract the customers more. So premises maintenance, it deals with many things like the cleanliness of the store, then the maintenance of the store, then the display windows, everything, the light, the temperature, all these things should be well organized and well maintained. For example, you are entering some store and there is no good enough light over there. You're not being able to see the proper colors of the product. So that is definitely a problem for a retailer. On the other hand, if the temperature inside the retail store is not good, is very hot or it's very cold, the customers will again not like that thing. So the premises should be well maintained, there should be proper cleanliness, there should be proper things managed everywhere, everything should be properly organized. So that is very important. Now the store management is done. We have discussed that managing store is very important. From starting from the layout of the store, that how the store should be there, what all different spaces should be there. So it's very important. And managing everything, the procedures, the premises, that is also very important. Now we'll shift towards the second one. The second one is merchandise management. Now, merchandise management is also very important. The American Marketing Association has defined this term very clearly, that merchandise management is what? It is planning which involves marketing right merchandise at right place, at right time, in right quantities, and at right price. So this is what merchandise management is. Means first thing, the merchandise should be right. The marketing should be right of the merchandise. Then it should be at right place. Then it should be sold at a right time. Because it's quite obvious, just for an example, in the winter season, you might not require the things that are of summer season. And on the other, like you don't require ACs in winter. On the other hand, for in a summer season, you may require the cold things like your ice creams and all those. There you won't require heater. So at right place at right time and in the right quantities, whatever the quantity that is the desirable by the customer, and at the right price as well. So managing all these things is the merchandise management. So in merchandise management also we need to plan few things. We need to take into thing many things into consideration. When we manage the merchandise, the first thing that we have to do is to prepare a merchandise plan. Merchandise plan is, again, it's going to depend upon the type of store that you have, right? So all the things will be mentioned in this plan, that what product I'm selling or which brand I am selling, what would be the cost of my product, how I'm going to sell it, how I'm going to promote it. So for this, I'll prepare one plan. Now, this plan will also be based on some other things, like, for example, that what are the past sales records, that in the past, whether there is a good sale of this product or not. What are the consumption habits, whether the person will like my product, whether they like to consume my product or not. And what are the changes that are happening in the fashion? Might be today your product is in fashion, but after a few years, it might happen that it is not more, no more in fashion now. So this will not help you to run your business for a long time. So the first thing is to prepare a plan about a product. There should be all the details about product, the type of product, the brand, the cost, everything should be there. Then secondly, we have to select one vendor. Vendor is a person who is going to provide you that product, right? You are going to sell it in a small quantity, but as a retailer, you need it from someone. So the vendor is going to supply you the products. So selecting the right vendor is also very important. So when you are selecting the vendor, you are a retailer and you are selecting one vendor. So what you will take into the things that you will take into consideration, that at what price the vendor is selling me that product. Will I be able to earn good profits or not? Then what is the quality of the products? Will they deliver it on time or not? Because it might happen that you are selling some product and it is out of stock now, and you have some customers back to you who want that product again from you. Now, if you will have a good vendor, the vendor will definitely provide you with that product and you will be able to sell it further. But if the vendor is not providing you with that product, then this will also help you to ruin your image as well. So delivery of the product at right time, whenever it is required, if the vendor is good, he is definitely going to deliver the things timely. Then you should also ensure that whether the vendor is reliable, whether the vendor is trustworthy or not. So this is the another thing. Then we have the third one, receiving products from the vendor. You have made the plan, then you have selected the vendor. Now you're going to receive the products from the vendor. You'll call up the vendor by any mode and then you'll contact and then you'll put up your order for the products. Now the products will be received to you from that particular vendor. Now what you will do, you will check that whether the products that I've ordered, whether the things that I have given as an order, that whether all those things have been provided to me or not. So the vendor will also tell you, and it's even your duty to ensure that whether the products have been shipped, when they are going to be delivered, And then after the delivery, you're going to check it with your purchase order. For example, if you have ordered 10 products, you will further check that whether all those 10 products have been received or not. If they are up to match, then it's well and good. But if there is some discrepancy, like there is some shortage or the products are not the same as you have ordered, then definitely you need to contact that vendor and get the things resolved. So this is the third thing. Fourth is marking the goods. You have received the goods, you have received the products. Now you're going to mark them. Mark them means that you're going to ticket them with the necessary information, whatever is required. Like whenever you're visiting some store, you have seen some tags over there where the price is mentioned, or if some discount is being given, that is mentioned, or if some off is there on that particular brand, that is mentioned on that thing. So next thing is to mark those codes, to record them in your own system as well, and also to check them properly. Then you have marked them. Now it's the time to display them. Display them for the use of customers, for letting the customers to see that yes, these products are available in this store. So after ticketing, all the goods are folded, or whatsoever. If they are needed to be hanged, they are hanged there. If they need to be steamed or pressed, all this procedure is done, and then they are displayed. So if some good product is not displayed in a good way, it will lie unsold. The people will not buy it, because until and unless you have displayed some product, it will only get sold only if the people are getting it in front of them. If they are not being able to see it, then they'll not buy it. So displaying the product in a good manner, in a best way, so that the customers get attracted towards it, it's very important. Now, while displaying this merchandise or while displaying the product, few things should be kept in mind. Now, what all these things are? The first one is that the things that are new, the new products, they should be displayed in the front, of the store, so that whenever the customer is entering, the first thing that should come into the note of a customer should be that new products. So new products should always be displayed in the front, of the store, so that they can grab the attention of the customer get attracted towards it. So this is the first thing. Then secondly, the type of product that are no more required by the people, or they are no more demanded by the people, they should be kept at lower level. The ones that have been out of stock now, or the other size or color is not available of that product, so that product should be kept at a lower level. Then the newly arrived styles, the one that is very trending, they should be again kept at the very front, and the one that are demanded very less, they should be kept at high level of shelves, where the customer doesn't get much attracted. So they should be kept over that place. Then on the purchase products, they should be kept near payment counters. Now, what do you mean by fly purchase products? For example, you have done lots of shopping, you are in some cloth store, and you have done lots of shopping, you have for you the shirt, the jeans, everything you have buy, and then you come to the payment counter where you want to do the payment, and then suddenly you see some socks, belt kept over there, and you think of purchasing them as well. So those products are called on the fly purchase product, which you haven't thought of buying, but just by seeing it and then just thinking to buy it randomly. So those products should be kept near the payment counters. So while displaying the things, these things should be kept in mind, that how the products are going to be displayed, how I'm going to display the product, so that more and more customers come to my shop and purchase the things. So this is the merchandise display thing. So this was all about merchandise management. Starting, we had done with the store management, then we have moved towards the merchandise management, to how to manage the merchandise. Now we'll talk about that how to manage the employee. Managing the employees is also very important, because it's quite obvious employees are the real assets of any business organization. Employees are the one who are totally the basis for the growth as well as for the failure of any business. If the employees are working well in any kind of a business, then they are going to make that business grow much. But if the employees are not working well, the business will fail. So employees are the real assets of any kind of a business. And to manage those employees, it also becomes an important aspect under your retail business management. So while we talk about employee management, 6 things should be kept in mind. These all things that you can see on the slide, all these things should be taken into consideration when we are managing the employee. Firstly, the selection, that who all employees are going to be there in your business. Secondly, there is a requirement to monitor them from time to time, that whether are they doing their job well or not. Then the communication. This is the very important concept, that there should be good communication between the owners and employee, between the employee and the customers. There should be well communication, because until and unless the things are not communicated, the things will not go in a right direction. Then the training of employees is also very important. Then incentives, that what all incentives should be given to the employee to keep their motivation high. And then the discipline of the employees is also very important. So now we'll discuss all these points one by one, which will help us to manage the employee. Help us here, I mean that as a retailer, how you are going to manage the employee. So the first one is selection. What is selection? Selection is finding and appointing right candidate for the job, for the right job. Like you might have some vacant positions in your business. So appointing the person, firstly finding the person and then appointing that person for that position, that is referred as a selection. So selection, there are many factors that are going to impact this particular factor, selection. So eligibility and the number of employees that are required for any business is dependent on various factors. The first one is the size of retail store. What is the size? For example, if the size of my business is the bigger one, I'll definitely require more employees. More employees, then it means I'm going to select more employees. And if the retail store that I am operating, that is of a small scale, then I might require less employees. So the selection process will be little less. Secondly, number of customers in the store. This is also going to affect the number of employees in my business. If there are more customers coming into my store, I'll be requiring more employees. Because it's quite obvious, if there is a single employee and 10 customers have come there, then how one employee is going to look after all the customers? So the number of customers that are coming to my store, that is also going to impact the number of employees I want in my business. More customers means I need more employees, I need more staff. And if there are less customers, then definitely there isn't much requirement of employees. Then we have level of assistance that is required by customers. For example, some business or some retail shops, there everything is displayed. So there isn't much assistance required by the customer. The customer can just explore themselves. They can find out the things themselves. If they like one thing, they can just easily pick up that thing and do the payment and get that thing. But for some things, for some particular business, assistance is required. Like for electronic appliance, where I need the assistance of employee. I want to purchase some electronic appliance. I don't know how to use that. I don't know how to operate that. So then I need their employee to or staff of that business to teach me how to use that appliance. So definitely there more employees are required. Then amount of financial resources that are available. The employees will work in my organization only if I'll provide them wages, good salaries as a retailer, right? So amount of financial resources that are available to the retailer, that is also going to impact the number of employees. If now I have 10 employees, but I'm not being able to give them salaries, then how will those employees work in my organization? So as per the funds that are available to the retailer, as per the financial resources that are available with the retailer, he is going to select the employees for his business. Otherwise, he's going to manage everything himself. Then the timing of the store and the working hours of the employee. This is also going to impact. If the timing is the timing is more of your business store, so you might require employees in a shift. One might work for 7 hours and the another one for 7 hours. But if the timing of your store is just 7 to 8 hours, then you might require only one employee, right? So the timing of the store, working hours of the employee, that is also going to impact a lot. If your business, you open your store very early in the morning at 4 and you shut down at late night at 11, so one person cannot work for the whole time. You might require 2 employees who will be working in a shift. So the number of employees also depend upon this factor as well. Then we have monitoring. Monitoring means checking out the employees, and quite obvious, not in a negative sense, rather in a positive sense. So monitoring means checking the performance of the employees, whether they are doing their job good or whether they are not. So this thing should be monitored well. Secondly, communication should be there. Proper everything should be communicated to all the stakeholders of that business. For example, whatever the meetings are being conducted, the information of the meetings should be conveyed to the employees. Then during the meeting, all the things should be communicated. The employees should be told, should be informed that yes, these are the expectations from you. The particular job that you are doing, these are the job expectations from you. And whenever any employee is facing any kind of problem, any kind of guidance they require, then the owner or the store manager should be there to provide them the guidance, to guide them in the right direction, to solve their issues, to discuss their problem, and then provide them with good solution. So the communication is very important. Then we move towards the training. Employees should be well trained. From time to time, so much of things are happening in our world, new changes are happening. So the employees should be trained with regard to that. They should be given training. Employees should know that yes, what is expected from them and how they are performing and how could they improve their performance. So training should be provided to them. A proper training center should be there where they should be informed that yes, these are the things to be done. Like for example, there is some retail store of electronic appliance, and I as a customer is going to that shop, going to that store, and I'm asking the employee to help me to use that electronic appliance. But employee over there doesn't know how to use it, doesn't know how to operate it. Then how is going to guide me? So for this thing, the training is required of those employees. Firstly, those employees should be trained well. Then further, they will help the customers. They'll be able to guide the customers. So this is very important. Then the incentives. Incentives is very important. The basic salary, the fixed salary that the employees are getting, that is on a one side. Also, incentives should be given to all the employees. Now, how these incentives should be, it should not be only cash price, it should be even in the other forms. Like the bonus can be given, some stock can be given as a reward. Like if it is a shoe store, the shoes can be gifted to the good employees, right? So all these things comes under your incentives, and this incentives will help the employee to keep their motivation high. They will be well motivated and they'll definitely work more for the organization, right? Then the discipline. Discipline is very important. If the things are not in a disciplined way, the things will not run smoothly. So the manager or the owner of that particular retail business should ensure that everything is in a discipline mode. All the things, there should be proper evaluation of the performance, the mistakes should be corrected, and if some kind of policies are there required to be implemented as to ensure good discipline, that should also be implemented. So proper policies should be there in which everything should be mentioned. Like sometimes when we visit any kind of store, we see over there it is mentioned smoking is not allowed here, right? So that smoking is not allowed, that is a policy of that store, which is a discipline policy of that store. So that is also very important. So when we take into consideration all these things, that yes, we have to monitor the employees, need good communication, we should train the employees, good incentives should be given, discipline should be there. So in this way, we are managing the employees. So this is all about employment management. Now, next comes the customer management. The management of customers is also very important. So, in order to build a good relationship with the customer, everything should be well defined. The customer should be properly assisted, and they should be even given the follow up after the purchase, whatever the purchase they have made. And if they're facing any kind of issue, that should be resolved. So, customer management is what? Managing the customer when the customer has entered into the store and after the customer is leaving from the store. In every aspect, the customer should be managed. Now, what are the basic things that should be taken into consideration while we are managing the customer? Firstly, is the approaching and assisting the customer. You are a retailer, you have seen a customer is entering into your shop. What you'll do? You will approach that customer and then you will assist them. Then you will conduct the transaction. Means transaction involves the person is buying the good and then giving the payment. That is the transaction. Then if the person want to return the good or wants to exchange the product, still handling those things is also a part of customer management. Then following up on sales, just giving the product and taking the payment, that is not enough. Even after that, there should be a good follow up so that the customers are retained in your business, so that next time whenever they want to buy any product, they come back to you. So this is the next thing. Then we have dealing with consumers' grievances. So dealing with the grievances of the consumer, that is also very important. So all these things, when you are managing them well, that is referred as a customer management. So while managing the customer, the first thing is approaching and assisting the customer. Every business has their own selling strategy. Some might use another strategy and some might use the another one. So this strategy should be good one, that it helps you to retain your customers. So for this, there are few points that I would like to highlight. Like the first one is, firstly, what needs to be done? Approach the customer and try to gain his or her attention. Like you have seen that some person is standing outside and he's looking at your store. So just approach that customer. Ask him that what he wants actually, that whether you will be able to satisfy him, whether you are selling that product that customer wants. So just look upon that thing. Then build a kind of a relationship, build a rapport with that customer. Then identify the need of that customer, listen very patiently. A employee, a retailer should listen very patiently to the needs of the customer, that what actually that customer wants. Then after that, provide the product to that person. Also tell the benefits of purchasing that product. Give the product to the customer. Along with that, also tell that what are the benefits of that product, how that product is better than any other product, right? So this is the next thing. After that, a person should deal with the customer concerns. If there are some questions arising in the mind of the consumer, the retailer should answer those concerns. Just for an example, the person has gone to the shop and he has a doubt between two products. He's not being able to find out that which product will be better for him. So at that time, the retailer should help him, should look after the concern, and then should help him to select one product out of those two products. And after that, the sale should be closed. They say the product should be handed over to the consumer and the payment should be taken back. So this is the another thing. Then we have that make the extra sale of any accessory or additional service, like the sale the main product that has been sold. But if you want to make some extra sale, you want that there should be some additional thing that can be given, so that should be also suggested, that yes, if you have bought this ABC product, take this product as well, this is also better. So this is also the requirement. Then reinforce the purchase decision. Ask him that do visit our shop next time as well, do visit our store next time, and then thank the customer. And also it would be a very good gesture if retailer will walk the customer till door, like ask here, take him till the door, and then invite him to come back again to buy some other product. So this is also a good gesture from the side of retailer. So this is also very important. Then we have the next one, that is transaction flow system, how the transaction will run. So important factor which influence our customer's perception is the experience that he is having at the time of billing, right? So at the billing, at the payment counter, everything should run very smoothly. So transaction can be in any form, it can be even a cash sale, or it can be credit sale, or even it can be a bank transfer. So there are different modes in which a payment can be done by the customer to the retailer. So there the thing that should be kept in mind is that there isn't should be a long queues should not be there. There should be not long line standings over there. For example, this is a payment counter and we have seen a lots of customers standing there for their billing. So this thing will not give a good impression on the customers. So there should be, if it is required, there should be a multiple payment counters so that the things run smoothly and in a quick way. Then all sort of transactions have different policies, different procedures, so it should be well explained to the employees, and further employees should explain them well to the customers. Then it's quite obvious cash transactions are very simple one, so it's better if cash transactions are like now we have the online mode, so that can also be used, but the cash transactions are the simplest way. Then the customers purchase whatever the purchase the customer has done, that should be entered into the computer, and then one receipt should be generated as a bill that is given to the customer. So this way transaction flow system works. Then we have handling returns and exchanges. So it's not only that the product is being purchased by the consumer and the payment is done and it's over. If the customer want to return any item or want to exchange it, so its provision should also be there under your retail business. Like for example, it should be specifically mentioned that only these things can be returned back, only these things can be exchanged. So specifically everything should be mentioned and conveyed to the customer. For example, the time frame can be built that if you want to return this thing, it's not suitable to you, you want to return it, then it should be returned only within 1 month or 2 month, or let's say 1 week. So proper time frame should be there. And also the things should be mentioned specifically that what all products can be exchanged and what all products cannot be exchanged. So this thing is also very important when we talk about retail business management. Then the next one we have, that is following up on sales. After the sales have been done, these sales have been closed, there is a requirement for the follow up, because it is very important that the customer should be happy, he or she should leave the store with a smile, and after that if there is some requirement, it should be fulfilled. For this, a follow-up call can be done. A call can be done to the customer and it can be asked that whether the product that you have purchased, are you satisfied with it or not? Are you thinking to buy some other products from my store? So such kind of questions can be asked to them. So this will help us to maintain one client file. So in this client file, a retailer will record all the information, the name of the customer, the product that customer have bought, the contact number or contact email ID of that customer, the brand, the size he has bought, every information related to the client. So this client file will help the retailer in many ways. Now how it is going to help? Like for example, if I have some new schemes launched or new offers or new discounts I have launched as a retailer in my business, I provide the SMS alert to those people to those clients. So this will help in this way. And secondly, if there is the birthday of my client or if there is wedding anniversary of my client, so I can provide them with some small gifts. This is only possible if I'll have the information of my clients, right? So in my client file, I'll have all this information. I'll have a contact of every client. So it will help me to contact with them even after the sale has been done. So this will even help to grow my business in many ways, right? Then we have dealing with consumers grievances. A proper provision should be there, proper methods should be there by which I can deal with all my consumers problems, with their issues. So firstly, the employee should know that if there are some complaints from consumer sides, then who is to be approached. If it can be done, it can be resolved by the employee itself, then that is well and good. But if it is not in the ambit of the employee, then who would be the next person to approach? So all kind of complaints, be it any complaint of any consumer, be it any complaint of any product, or be it any complaint of employee as well. So the complaints should be well redressed by all the proper owners of that retail store. So this is also very important. So this is all about the customer management. We have discussed that how the customer will retain in a retail business, will retain in your business as a retailer, and it will help to provide the better customer services. Now we talk about inventory management. Now, what inventory management is? Managing the inventory. Inventory is something that is stocked, a product that is stocked in a retail store for future use. That is inventory, right? Inventory, it is usually kept in the warehouse. Like for example, I have 10 products that are there in for the display, but along with that, I might have 50 products that I don't require right now for display. So I need them for future. So what I'll do, I'll keep all those products in a warehouse, and in that products will be referred as an inventory. And managing this inventory is also very important. So inventory management is a system in which we record that how much stock is there in the store, how much is required more, right? Which products are out of stock now, which I need to reorder again, which vendors are selling it, and which customers are buying it, right? So all the record of all those things is the inventory management. So it's very important that a good inventory management should be done. Inventory should be managed in a very well manner, because it's very important, as the first thing is that the money has been spent on that product. So if those products get destroyed, or they are lost because of their perishable nature, this will result in a loss to my business. So managing inventory is very important. Even the inventory should be up to stock. Like a customer is entering and he or she sees that the shelves of any store are empty, right? Those are empty, there isn't good things displayed or not much stock is there. This will leave a kind of a negative impression on the people, right? Negative impression on the customers. So they'll never visit that store again, because there will be a thing in their mind that yes, at that store the stock is not up to mark, the stock is not much available, so they won't work over there. Then we have inventory management. There are very many ways in which the inventory can be managed. So the very common method that can be used, that is the just in time system. Now what just in time system means? Just in time means just order when it is required. For example, if I have kept lots of inventory with me, this will result in so many losses. Like I have to put up the cost of warehouse, the cost will be, managing cost will be more, maintenance cost will be more, and even if the goods are of a perishable nature, may get destroyed, right? So for this, I must need a good inventory. That the inventory management should be done in a good way, that just when I require the inventory, I just order it that time. I should not leave the inventory for a long time just in a warehouse. And even if I don't keep the inventory much, then it will result in a lack of stock. Might the customer comes and I don't have that stock with me. So this will also create a problem. So this method is very good method, that is just in time system, that as and when the stock is required, I can order, and the vendor should be much reliable that whenever I order, the delivery is on the time to me. So this is also very important. Then we have, now this was all about management of 5 different things, like your customer management, employee management, your inventory management. So when you manage all these things, it's quite obvious you can manage the whole of your retail business. Now there are two main other things. One is the retail pricing, the price of your product, and one is retail promotion. So we will discuss these two things as well now. So what is retail pricing now? So retail pricing is what? Setting the price of the product. And the price should be the right one. The price should be such that it should not even be more to the customers, and even it should not be less to you as a retailer. Because even if the prices are high, the customers are not going to come to you. And if the price is less, then you will not be able to earn good profits. So the price should be the right one. The price should be such that you will be able to earn the revenue, earn the income, earn profit, and also the price should be reasonable for the customers as well. So setting the right price is also very important, and it plays a vital role under your retail business management. Now there are many strategies for putting the retail pricing. So what all those are? The first one is this skimming. Now what skimming is? It means to set high price for a product and then by the time you just keep it lower. Right? For in the initial time you keep the product very high, but when you have set up your business and over the time you are lowering that price. So that is the skimming strategy. Second strategy is the penetration pricing. What does this mean? That you are entering some new market, you want to make your space over there, you want to keep your, you want to have a grasp on your market. So you will keep the price of your product very less. When the price will be less, more customers will attract towards your business. They will buy your products. And after some time, you will start rising that price so that you can earn good profits. So this is the second strategy. The third one is price lining, where there are some predetermined prices are fixed, like 80, 109.50 or 149.50. There are specific fixed prices of the product, that is a price lining. Then next strategy is prestige pricing. What prestige pricing means? The pricing of the products that are very prestige, that have their different image, that have something unique about themselves. So the pricing of those products are usually kept at a high range because people are going to buy those products only when their price will be high. Because if their prices will be low, no person is going to consider it much prestige, right? So next one is the reference pricing. What reference pricing is? It is the consumer's frame of references that is established through previous experiences of purchasing. Like some, if the person has gone and he has seen that product in some other shop, it might be of $100, and when he's coming back, he may give the reference that in that particular shop it is of 100. So you charge me only with the 100. So that is reference pricing. Then the traditional pricing is for historical and long-standing prices. This is specifically for the sports product. Then we have multiple unit pricing. When you want to encourage some additional sales, you want to have some increased profits, then you may use multiple unit pricing. Like if you buy one, I'll charge you $10, but if you will buy two, I'll charge $15. So this is an example of multiple unit pricing. So this will help the person to increase the sale. Then we have bundle pricing. Now what bundle pricing is? It is the practice of offering two or more products in a together in a bundle form. So that is the bundle pricing. Then we have preemptive pricing. Now preemptive pricing, why it is kept so? So that new entrants doesn't enter the market. Now, if I have some business and some other businesses entering into the same specific line, they might keep the product price low so that the customers get attracted towards it. But what I'll do, I'll follow the strategy of preemptive pricing and I'll keep the price even lower to those particular businesses. So this will help to retain my customers. The customers will stay with me only. So this is the another strategy. These are some of the strategies that can be followed to set the right price. According to the business, according to the type of product you are involved, you can choose any of these strategies. Then we have the last topic, that is retail promotion. Pricing have been set up, everything is managed, everything is done. There's a time to promote your sales, to promote your product, to promote your retail business that you are into. So what retail promotion is, it is as all communication informs, persuaded and or to remind the target market that yes, this is we are having. So promotion is what, communicating the people regarding your product, telling them that yes, this is the business or this is the product I'm selling and you should buy it. So this is the promotion. So promotion can be done through various ways. The advertisement can be done, the sales promotion can be done, publicity can be done, even personal selling can be done for the retail promotion. So it depends that what kind of product you are dealing with. The type of product as such will be the promotion strategy. So the first one is retail advertisement. What retail advertisement is? Advertising by giving a paid form or a kind of a presentation of ideas, goods by some identified sponsor. So this is the paid form type of promotion and it is a non-personal where you may not have the direct interaction with the customer. You are just going to advertise your thing, you're going to promote your thing with the different modes or with some specified sponsor. You are not going to have a direct link with the customer. Then some objectives are there, that why advertising is done to promote our new product. If we have launched some product, we may use advertisement method. Then to reach out to the people that are not in contact anymore. So you can use the advertisement method over there to enter some new market, to manage the competition, then to enhance our goodwill of our firm, the advertisement can be used. Advertisement will help you to put your goodwill, put your reputation in front of the market, the customers. Then to take the attention of public, to tell them that yes, this product is being sold, and if some fake product is being made in the market, the people will become aware only with the help of your advertisement. Because in advertising, you will tell everything about your product. And if some fake product is being sold in the market, the customers will easily find out the fakeness. So this is the first method. Then we have sales promotion. What sales promotion refer to? Where the sales are promoted and communication strategies are developed where there is a direct interaction with the customer. In the advertisement type, there wasn't any kind of interaction, direct interaction with the customers. But in a sales promotion, there is a direct interaction with the customers. I am a seller and the consumer is coming to me and I am asking him, I am convincing him to purchase my product again. So that would be my sales promotion. So this is the another way. Then we have personal selling. It is a kind of a promotional method in which one party uses skills, uses techniques for building good personal relationship with the another party. And then this will help to get benefit by both the parties. So in this, there is a personal content, there is a promotional face-to-face meetings through any different modes, through online chatting, that is a personal selling. Even the personal selling, if there is some of my friends, I can ask them to buy the product, the same product in which I am dealing. So this is also an example of personal selling. Then we have public relations. Now what public relations is? Public relations are the practice of managing and spreading of information between different individuals, different organizations, and in generally the public. When I managed my good relations with these agencies, it will help me to convince them to buy my product. So this is also another form of good promotion technique under my retail business. So to conclude my whole session, I would say that retail business management is very essential for every efficient operations, for customer satisfaction and overall profitability of my business. And there is a requirement of every retail business owner that they should adapt to whatever the new technologies, new trends, new changes are coming in the business. Effective inventory and supply chain management should be there so that more efficiency can be there. So overall, managing the customers, managing the employee, managing the store, managing the premises, all these things combinedly helps us to manage the retail business. So this is all about retail business management from my side. So now I would ask you all to ask me any questions if you have related to my topic. I'll most welcome it.
Yeah, for our participant, if you have any questions for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Yeah, we have 3 questions from participant already
Yes.
right in the chat.
Yes, so I have a question that how has technology changed the retail business management in the recent years? Definitely, because of the scientific research and reasons, the technology is evolving. The technology that the business was using few years back, that technology is no more useful for the business today. The new updated technology, the biggest example, like for example, an AI. The AI was not prominent few years back, and as a retailer, though the AI was not used those days. But today, the retail business owners or the retailers can use AI for better way, for better things, right? For better functioning of their business. So, because of the change in technology, if the retailer is still using that outdated technology, just for an example, in the few years back there was black and white televisions, right? Black and white. So if today I'm selling the same black and white televisions, no consumers are going to buy it. They are going to buy the colored televisions, colorful televisions. So this way the technology is changing the retail business management. I hope I have given my answer to the best. Next question I have here is, what are the biggest challenges in inventory management? The biggest challenge that is there in the inventory management is regarding overstock or understock. This is the great problem. For example, while managing the inventory, if I have kept the things overstocked with me, I am having lots of things kept with me and they're not being sold in few months or years, so that things are going to get damaged. If they're of a perishable nature, then definitely they're going to last only just for 2 or 3 days. But if they are not of a perishable nature, still they're going to be damaged after a few years. So even this is the first thing, the damage of the stock, that the overstock that I have with me. Second thing is the maintenance cost. If I have overstock with me, I need to maintain them, and the cost that I have to incur on the maintenance, that will result in reducing my actual profits. So the cost of maintenance is also a great problem. And the another thing, if I talk about understock, if I'm not having much inventory with me, then it's going to be a problem for the customers. If some customer is coming to me and they're asking for some specific ABC product, and if I have an understock, I'll not be able to give that product to my customer. So this is also going to be a problem for me. These are some of the challenges that comes around my way when I manage the inventory. One more question I have. How can small retailers compete with big retail chains and e-commerce chains? Very good question. So everything starts from a very small point. If we think that today, if I have set up my business in just 2 days, I'll grasp the whole market, I'll enter into the global world, that's not possible. So I'll start with the small steps, slowly and steadily. If everything is on in a right track, in a right direction, everything is managed well, then definitely one day I'll be able to compete with those biggest retail chains or e-commerce giants. It's quite obvious they're also big today because they were small at one point of time. Today they have grasped the whole market, but they have also started from very scratch, from A B only. So this is the all from my side. I hope I am able to answer the questions asked to me.
Yeah, thank you for answering. Thank you for assessing it. And before I post this event, for our participant, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for your information. Finally, we come to the end of the teaching lecture today. Thank you for Miss Jashan for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be benefit of our participants. At least we hope to collaboration in the future. The visiting lecture for today and here. We have to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day.